eating disorder is when that becomes way too important. Sometimes I think of it as almost like a values disorder or a priorities issue. We call it over-concern with weight and shape. And that is people who place their self-esteem, how they feel about themselves, is largely influenced by their appearance. And that can be if they're too thin or they're too heavy, but they're really miserable about it because it's way too important. Because on the one hand, if you have someone who's too thin, they have made being thin more important than being healthy. And on the other end, if you have someone who's too heavy, they have made eating and enjoying their food or whatever more important than their health, because on that end, it's a health problem too. And perfectionism kind of fits into this because we're talking about what's really important to the person. And if you have a person who's really perfectionistic, what that means is they're not ever satisfied with, not being the best, always striving to be a little bit more, a little bit better. And so if they adopt as their ideal, the thin ideal, then it's never good enough. They get down, if they're overweight and they get down to a normal weight, they're still not satisfied. It's got to be 10 pounds more. And the true anorexic, that's the problem, is they never know when to stop. They always thinking, I'm not quite thin enough. Oh, it's just another pound or two. For better or for worse, body weight is something that is really obvious. And people who are performance-oriented, what they focus on are kind of clear-cut outcomes. For good students, it's a grade. And so a 94 is really different than a 96, when in real life, they're really not that different. So if you have something real overt, like a number on a scale, it can just grab people's attention and they get very focused on the numbers on the scale. If I had my way, parents would never, ever say anything to their children about their weight per se. Not on the good side, not on the bad side. Because if you're worried about your weight and your parent says, oh, you're looking great, then you think, oh, they thought I was fat before. Or they are worried, they think I'm getting too thin. So any way you say it, it's going to be misinterpreted. So what parents need to do is just downplay the whole importance on appearance and focus on the qualities of the kid as a person and their social ability, what a good friend they are, what a good, how much fun they are to be around, what their friends like about them. So we said the core of this is over-concern about weight and shape. Well, if you have over-concern about weight and shape, your kids are going to pick up on it. So trying as best you can to downplay that in how you evaluate yourself and how you evaluate other people, how you talk about the people on television. Everything permeates that. Is the message you give to kids is that you are worth what you look.